Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and more. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. If you are part of my texting community, then you already know this news. During a recent interview with the Jasmine Brand, Nene Leakes revealed that Gregg Leakes' cancer had come back and has been in the hospital for almost a week. So better that I show you what she said. And as always, we will be citing our sources. Let's take a look at what she said during her interview earlier today.
Oh, how's Greg? I didn't ask that.
Oh, yeah. Greg is, so he's in the hospital. Yeah, he's in the hospital. He's been in the hospital. Tomorrow will be a week. I haven't talked probably about that. This is the first time I'm saying something about it. So, yeah. He's in the hospital. He's been there a week tomorrow. I'm sure he'll be home in about a week or so. He had to have a surgery, so his cancer be returned. Love everybody to pray for Greg. That would be beautiful. Pray for his strength. And I was going to say something when he returned home, so I didn't know that I was going to say something today. But he's had this surgery before, and he was, I think, in the hospital about 15 days. So I expect him to be in the hospital at least another week and go home. So, yeah, pray for Greg, and yeah, pray for me too.
Prayers up. I know one thing everyone asks when Nene's being interviewed is, how's Greg? How's Greg? Because, Gregg Leakes is never really necessarily in the spotlight. We've seen him on the show. We've grown to love him from being on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. More came from that conversation with the Jasmine Brand, but we'll cover that in another video at another time. But this is interesting news. This is not a good sign, but as she was saying, we're going to keep Nene and Greg in our prayers. But speaking of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, during a recent interview with the Jasmine Brand, Carlos King was asked about his thoughts on the latest season of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And if you've been following the channel, we've spoken about some of the things that came out of that conversation. But the Jasmine Brand posted a clip specifically about his thoughts on season 13. Let's take a look to see what he said there.
Real Housewives of Atlanta, what did you think of last season?
Y'all are so nasty. Oh my God.
Me or the comments?
Because I'm honest, because my thing is this, the fans read me if I'm not honest, because I can't tell my reality stars to be honest if I'm not honest, so I'll be honest. It was the first season where I didn't watch the entire season because it wasn't interesting to me. One thing I know about producing that show is it takes a lot of work to produce. It takes a lot of work to produce the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And when I produced my final season, which was season 9, I knew that was my final season, and I didn't tell anyone that it was. I remember having a sit down with my cast because I saw that they were comfortable. And I said, you women have a privilege to be the #1 show on Bravo, especially as Black women. And I get it, there's good days, there are bad days, but as a collective group, this show is only going to be as good as the effort we put into it. And I had to have that speech with them constantly during season 9. And the reason why people say season 9 is the second best season outside of season 6 is because they saw these women give so much to the show. And that's because I truly did not take anything less than what I was supposed to give. If I'm showing up to work, you ladies need to show up to work. So when I watched this past season, I wasn't surprised because I saw the writing on the wall.
So let me ask you this. I saw a lot of comments saying they weren't pleased. It was boring. It was dry. It was flat. That sort of thing. And I'm not this is not my ministry. Like I watch and I'm not, it's not my expertise. I thought it was like a regular. I mean, obviously, when I asked you about season 6 and you listed all those things, okay, yeah, that definitely didn't happen this season. But do you feel like the cast maybe wasn't willing to be as transparent as they should, or?
It's hard for reality stars to constantly give themselves. It's hard, and I am somebody who understands that. That's why I didn't mind having these conversations. I think a lot of producers, unfortunately, in reality, they don't care about the show. They're in it for the check.
Right.
I care because my name is on it.
Yeah.
And if my name is on something, there's a certain level of expectation my audience has. So I had to gather them in numerous times. But I was never mad at them because I'm a private person, so I could not imagine giving myself every single day. So I understood how difficult it was, but I also said, you did sign up to do the show.
Yeah.
So if you signed up to do it, you gotta give what needs to be given. And one thing about those ladies, they trusted me. And they also appreciated that I pushed them. And I think they just don't have anybody to push them in the way that I did. And I also think they just don't have that relationship. Like I'm friends with these ladies. So I don't mind saying, like, they all used to cuss me out. The only person who never cussed me out was Kenya. Kenya always understood the assignment. Everyone else used to read me for Phil, but I didn't mind it. It was fun. Like, it was good.
Yeah.
So I definitely understand why, but I'm hopeful that they'll get back to really being the awesome cast that I know they are.
So you were wondering what he thought, and look, we've had these conversations about season 13, but it's interesting to get a producer's perspective on what he thinks was going on. So he's saying during his last season there, he had to push them. So can you imagine when a new producer comes in and they don't know what works with this cast? They don't know that they need to push them in regards to bringing it for the season, don't get comfortable. It makes complete sense why since then, season after season, the energy around the Real Housewives of Atlanta has changed. During this conversation with the Jasmine Brand, they also spoke about Nene Leakes. So when Nene Leakes dropped by the Jasmine Brand, they spoke about Carlos King and Nene working together. And Nene says she speaks with Carlos on a regular basis and she's open to working with Carlos on something. Nene wants to get back into this reality TV game. Don't make her being demure about it. She wants to. She's just waiting for the right opportunity. There are rumors on the street that the Real Housewives of Atlanta are asking Nene back. Don't believe those rumors. Those rumors there is no way that Bravo's asking Nene back right now. That's not what I'm hearing. I'm hearing multiple sources. Nene is not she's not even in the conversation. She's not even in the conversation. Sheree Whitfield, Phaedra, they're in the conversation. And I know what you're saying. Sheree, Phaedra, why would they be in the conversation? Because they didn't burn a bridge with the executives at Bravo at the highest level. Nene has burned a bridge. Is it right? Does the franchise need Nene? That's a whole other conversation. But trust and believe, Truly Original, Bravo, they're not knocking on Nene's door. Not yet. When she decided not to take that last contract, and it was her decision, it was partially, allegedly, because of money. When they parted ways at that point, everything was amicable. And I would believe any rumors if it ended just there. But you remember what transpired after Nene left. you know what transpired. She sort of backtracked a little bit in regards to what she was saying. She called Andy out. She said people were racist. She said people been stopping her bag. And I'm not saying that any of that's not true, but trust and believe. Now she's sort of backtracking because she would like to be back on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And I wouldn't be surprised if her camp, I'm speculating. I'm not saying that this is true, is putting the rumor out there. Oh yeah, they're asking me back. I don't believe it. I honestly do not believe that you'll see Nene Leakes back on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. One of the other really great things that Carlos King said during his conversation with the Jasmine Brand was that he would like to go back to the original OGs, which included Nene, but he also said it wasn't just Nene that created the magic that everyone fell in love with. It was a cohesive, it was a collective that made that show work. We shall see. More is coming out from Nene's conversation with the Jasmine Brand. We'll talk more about that at a later date. Our prayers, though, to Nene, because not only did she ask us to pray for Gregg, who's currently in the hospital because his cancer has come back, she also asked us to pray for her. And you know what? We talked about it in her last season about her being a caretaker, and we forget our caretakers. They need our strength. They need our prayers as well. So prayers to you, Nene, and prayers to your entire family, and prayers to Gregg. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section about some of what Nene said and what Carlos said about the last season that he produced on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and his thoughts on season 13 and what went wrong there. As always, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload.